Lesson 6.6. Solve radical equations. A radical equation would be an equation with a radical. So to solve a radical equation, you need to first of all isolate the radical. And then you raise both sides to whatever exponent the index is. So if it's a cube root, you'd cube both sides. If it's to the fourth root, you would fourth power both sides. Solve, and you need to check your answers. It is possible to get extraneous solutions, which are solutions that you solve correctly and get, but do not actually work when you plug it back in. So you do need to check your answers. So let's solve this. Well, I need to get the radical by itself, so maybe I'll start by adding the fourth root of x to both sides. And then my radical is isolated, so I'm going to do a fourth power. The fourth power and fourth root cancel, so x is 5 to the fourth power, which is 625. So then you need to check your answer. You can just plug it in your calculator. 5 minus the fourth root of 625 does in fact equal 0. So that's your answer. Let's try another one. All right. This is our radical because it would be a cube root of x. So we need to get rid of the 3. It was times 3, so we divided by 3. 243 divided by 3 is 81. Okay, and then we need to get rid of that exponent. So we could raise both sides to the 3/4. Now we need to be careful. The denominator of 4, that's like a fourth root. So we've taken an even root. What that means, we need to remember a plus and minus. So it would be plus and minus 81 to the 3/4. And 81 to the 3/4 would be like the fourth root of 81 cubed. The fourth root of 81 is 3. And 3 cubed is 27. So we have two answers, 27 and negative 27. Plug those both back in. Check your answers. And they do, in fact, both work. Let's try another. So isolate the radical, so add 4. And then it's a square root, so I'll square both sides. Square and the square root cancel. Subtract the 8. And divide by 2. You get 46. And then plug that back in to check your answer. Square root of 2 times 46 plus 8 minus 4 is in fact 6, so it works. Let's try another one. Ooh, this one has 2 different radicals. Well, let's just isolate one of them. So let's add 3 square root of 2x to both sides. It's 3 square root. It's not a cube root. All right, so I've now isolated this radical, so let's square. So it cancels there, and make sure you square everything. So since it's 3 times the square root of 2x, we could distribute this exponent and have 3 squared times the square root of 2x squared, the square root and the square would cancel, and you have 2x. Let's get the x's together, so let's maybe subtract 4x. Divide by the 14, so x is 2. And so you check that, and it does in fact work. All right, our last example. We already have one of the radicals isolated. So we can just get rid of it, square both sides, so the square and the square root cancel. But remember, x plus 2 is x plus 2 times x plus 2. So that would be x squared, 2x, 2x, and 4. This appears to be quadratic, so let's get everything on the same side to make it equal to 0, because that's usually how we solve a quadratic equation. All right, then we can try factoring, maybe. If that doesn't work, we can do the quadratic formula. So what times what gives me x squared is x and x. Times what gives me negative 24 is maybe, I don't know, 6 and negative 4. Let's check. So that'd be negative 4x and 6x does equal 2x. That's what we're looking for. So then take each factor equal to 0. So x is negative 6 or x is 4. So let's check. If I check the negative 6, on the left I get negative 4. On the right, 2 times negative 6 is negative 12 plus 28 is 16. So negative 4 equals 4? No. So the negative 6 doesn't work. Let's try the 4. So I'm plugging the 4 into the original equation. And so that gives me 8 and 28 is 36. 6 equals, hey, that works. So 4 is a good answer. So that means you need to check your answers, because we might end up with these extraneous, is how we describe them, extraneous solutions. The negative 6 is extraneous. The 4 is the correct answer and the only correct answer. And that's it for today. Have a wonderful day.